Hello, today we're going to be making a pinch pot monster with air-dried clay. My name is LaDara McKinnon, a teaching artist at Clayworks in Charlotte, North Carolina. This video is presented by Clayworks in Charlotte, North Carolina, and sponsored by Culture Blocks, a community partnership between ASC, Charlotte Mecklenburg Library, Mecklenburg County Park and Recs, to bring arts and culture experiences closer to where residents live. Culture Blocks is funded by Mecklenburg County. What came in your kit is air-dried clay, acrylic paint, a skewer, and a paintbrush. What you will need from home: a workspace, a small dish of water, and items found around the house for texture. To get started, we are going to pinch off about 1/3 of our clay. And then the bigger portion we are going to roll into a ball to create a pinch pot. Pinch pot, a technique of putting your thumb in a ball of clay and pinching from the bottom up to create an opening in the clay. When rolling up your ball of clay, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can roll it in your hands or roll it on your surface as long as we get all the lumps out and it's pretty round. Now that our ball of clay is rolled up, we're going to start out by sticking our thumb right in the center of our ball and then pinching from the bottom up. I'm using a duck face by moving my thumb outwards towards my other fingers, going in a clockwise turn. I'm not going to make it too thin since I'm going to be placing this upside down to decorate on. But you want it to be about half of your pinky's thickness around the rim. Now I'm going to check the thickness of my pinch pot. It needs to be about half of my pinky's width. Right now mine is a little too thick, so I'm going to continue to pinch. If you want the opening of your pinch pot to be on the side, you can do that, or you could flip it over and decorate your pinch pot. I will be flipping mine over to decorate. With the extra clay, you can choose to do 1 eye, 2 eye, or 3 eyes. But we're first going to map out all of the little accessories for our little monster. I'm going to start out with my eyes first. And I think I want 2 layers with a dot in the middle. So I'm just rolling up small balls and pinching them to be flat. Also, I want one to be smaller than the other. Now I'm going to score and slip the 2 layered pieces of the eyes. Score and slip. Score, the process of incising surface of wet or leather hard clay in a cross-hatching pattern before applying slip and joining clay. Slip is watered down clay used for joining clay together. For this project we are using water. When you score, you're going to do hatching on both pieces that are going to come together. Then you're going to tap on a little bit of water. Next, I'm going to roll a coil for the mouth. Coil, a rolled out rope of clay like a worm or a snake. Take a piece of your clay and you can roll it in your hand back and forth, or you can roll it on the table starting from the center and working your way out. Now I'm just making a funny face with the coil by pinching it together. I know I want to add some funny antennas, so I'm going to roll 2 balls that are going to be up top to represent my antennas. I want my little monster to have 2 arms, so I'm going to roll 2 thicker coils for the sides. Next, I want my monster to have some type of tail. So I'm going to roll a coil out and do a little swirl for the back. Just how we scored and slipped our eye pieces together, I'm going to score where I want all of my little pieces to go. And when you score, you want this to be kind of rough. So you really want to see that texture. I'm going to start out with my eyes first, just how we mapped out, and go ahead and score the back, tap on a little bit of water, place it down, and then make a little hole in the middle of my eye. And I'm going to continue to score and slip all of the little pieces that we made for our monster. Before attaching the coils for the arms, I'm going to flatten them out just a little bit so they go on a little bit more easier. After adding all of my pieces, I decided that I do want to add a nose. So I'm going to roll up a small ball of clay and slip and score it on. My little monster is looking pretty cute. Now I'm going to squish it together just a little to give it a little bit of puff. And then I'm going to smooth out any imperfections that I do not want. And then I'm going to let it dry for about 24 hours and then we are going to paint it. Now that our monster is dry, I'm going to start with the largest area first to paint. You can choose any color that you would like. Before moving on to your next colors, make sure you let your piece dry for a couple minutes. Now I'm just going to go from piece to piece on my little monster and paint different colors that I would like. With my monster, I want to use brighter colors, so I'm going to be using hot pink, blues, and orange. Make sure when you are painting that your larger area is pretty dry. Since I'm painting from top to bottom, I'm going to ahead and paint my arms with blue. Next, I'm going to paint my nose with the blue as well. And then I'm going to make sure my brush is really clean since I'm using orange next. Since my brush is really clean, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the eyes. I'm going to be using orange and hot pink. Since I want to add hot pink to my wet orange, I'm going to go ahead and rinse my brush really well and then add the hot pink. So you can still see a little bit of hot pink on top of my orange. And since I have that mixed hot pink and orange on my brush, I'm going to rinse my brush really well and go ahead and paint my lips hot pink. Lastly, I'm going to paint the tail. The last step is to touch up any of the parts on your little monster that needs to be touched up. Is something over blended? If you missed a spot. And there you have it, a pinch pot monster. Thank you for watching this video and thank you to our partners.